the truth is that for a long time for Ruth and I, it was a massive elephant in the room. Like we kind of knew that we were contending with Ruth's death, and we knew that we had to share that information with the kids. And we didn't really want to talk about it even amongst ourselves. So where we were very fortunate is that Ruth was courageous enough. She said to me, like, the only way I can kind of savor my remaining time on this planet is to know that you and the kids are prepared for what's to come. And so she organized for us to see this incredible counselor, Jenny Thomas, who allowed us to have those conversations and sort of facilitate the conversations between Ruth and I, and gave us some really good advice about how to engage the kids, not just in terms of like the final conversation about Ruth dying, but just to make sure that they were kept up to date with what was going on with her treatment and all that sort of stuff. And so I think that was one of the big motivators for setting up the Ruth Strauss Foundation. It was like we had that help and support, and unfortunately 40,000 kids every year are going to go through something very similar to us, and how do we make sure they have access to that sort of support as well? A mistake that a lot of parents make is I think trying to protect the kids, like, and so not tell them what's going on because it's going to hurt them. But of course the kids, they sense what's going on anyway, and if they're not in the loop and they're not being involved in that process, they kind of, in some ways, the not knowing is worse for them than the knowing. And so it requires parents to sort of do what's quite unnatural for parents. We feel like our role as parents often is to protect our kids from tough stuff, and unfortunately with those awful experiences, they have to be part of that journey. You obviously got to think about how you tell kids or how you keep them involved, but I think it's hugely important both at the time but also afterwards that they don't feel like they were either not told the truth or lied to or whatever. So that helps the grief process when they have to go through it as well. I think that the sort of advice that Jenny's given me, I think in the aftermath of Ruth's death, was very much to ensure that the kids have permission to talk about it, which doesn't mean me going up to them going, how are you feeling? It's not about that. It's more about me being open with them about how I'm feeling. So, if I was feeling angry or frustrated or sad or whatever, just to say, look, this is how I'm feeling at the moment. And then it just means that the kids, when they want to express how they're feeling, they feel like they have permission to do so. One of the it's interesting what you just described there. I think I hear that a huge amount, like that kind of British stiff upper lip thing of like, look, we just got to crack on. I think culturally we need to move past that, and we've made a lot of progress in a lot of other areas around depression, whatever it might be, mental health, and I think this is the next step, is for us to be much more open and expressive about death. And so in this day and age, we're 2.5 years on now with the boys, but we still try and find moments to really kind of go there, and it might be on Ruth's birthday or on the anniversary of her death or Mother's Day or whatever. We will go and look through photos, and we'll share memories of experiences we've had together and whatever. And so we'll try and do that consciously, and then there's plenty of other stuff that just creeps up as and when. And I'm not sure we get it completely right, I've got to be honest with you, but I don't think that my boys are uncomfortable talking about it, and I suppose that's a good place for us to be.